Hi Capricorn, welcome to June. This is Teresa from Tarot by T, and I'm getting ready to do your June Love TarotScope. And first let me call in some good energy for this reading. And I want to say thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel, and thank you for those who have taken the time out to comment. I read all your comments and I really enjoy them. So thank you for that, taking the time to leave feedback. And also, thank you for those who have purchased readings. I've appreciated working with you, and I appreciate your support. So, thank you. I feel honored. Thank you for choosing me. So this month we have a new moon in Gemini and a full moon in Capricorn, your sign. So, let's see. Six of Pentacles. Okay. What does Capricorn need to know about love and relationships for the month of June? What does Capricorn need to know about love and relationships for the month of June? And don't forget, Scorpio is also going retrograde. Mars, I'm sorry, is going retrograde at the end of the month also. So, what does Capricorn need to know about love and relationships? What does Capricorn need to know about love and relationships for the month of June? The Eight of Wands, the Two of Swords. I have the dropsies today. The Knight of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, the Judgment, the Hangman, and the Chariot. Okay, so, of course, love and career is mixed together in a Capricorn reading. So we have the Eight of Wands here and the Two of Swords. The Eight of Wands represents opportunity, things happening quickly, news coming in, journeys by air, the arrows of love. So you could meet someone in June that you find really intriguing, attractive. You could have feelings develop for someone that just happens, quickly. And you may be kind of on the fence about it because you have the Two of Swords here. This is a card of trying to make a decision, trying to choose the right path. And you're blindfolded. So you're like, I don't know. I don't know what the future is going to hold. I don't know what to choose. I wish I knew what the future held. Well, I can tell you, the future holds success. And the success comes from giving up something for something better. This can work both in relationship and in career, because you have some career cards in here too. So while the Eight of Wands could mean, messages of love, someone telling you how they feel about you. You have this Knight of Cups in the back and the past here. You could be dealing with someone who's very romantic, very kind of maybe a little bit immature when it comes to love. They have this young energy. They have this dreamy, romantic quality about them. They could be artistic. They could be poetic. You feel like you have this special connection with this person. But they're a little bit unrealistic when it comes to relationships. They live in a fantasy world where they're expecting the perfect relationship, and you're never going to find it. They have this dream lover. Oh, my soulmate. When I meet my soulmate, he or she is going to be just dreamy, and we're going to be running off into the sunset together. That's not going to happen. So they can't deal with someone in the flesh, They can only deal with their fantasy lover, because that's easy. It's easy to deal with a fantasy lover. You never have any arguments. When you're dealing with a real flesh and blood person, you have to work through some things. So you're dealing with someone who's looking for the dream lover. And maybe it's even you. Capricorns have they're very picky, you know. Not just any old person for a Capricorn. You've got to have the right person, you know, and they have to be, you know, they have to fall, you have to check off all the boxes. You know, you've got this list of requirements. So it could be you too being picky and dreamy, looking for that dream lover. Maybe that's why you're on the fence. Like, well, I keep waiting for something better. But do I take what I have now, or do I wait for something better? You know. The Two of Swords could sometimes also mean that there is someone in your life and neither one of you is showing your cards. Like, you're keeping your feelings to yourself. You're keeping your feelings close. You want to tell them that you care, but you're afraid to be vulnerable. And they want to approach you, but they're afraid too. Both of you are afraid of rejection. So the relationship's not moving because neither one wants to go out on a limb. So this is a card sometimes comes up when you have to drop your guard. And you need to have an honest conversation with someone about how you feel. And say, you know, where is this relationship going? I really care about you. You're important to me. You know, where do you see us? How do you see us? I have to know the truth, one way or another. So in relationship, you could also be dealing with someone who's working on themselves, who wants to change themselves, who wants to be better, wants to improve their life in some way, who's going through some type of spiritual awakening where they're really trying to, you know, get their act together. And so there could be some changes in a relationship. You may get some surprise messages in June from someone, you know, who's wanting to do things differently this time. On the other hand, there could also be career opportunities with the Eight of Wands, because I'm seeing all this career stuff here. Career opportunities opening up. You might have to choose between several offers, or choose between staying with what you have and moving on to something better. Because with the Two of Swords, there's always that duality, you know. I have to choose between two things. I have to make a decision. And I don't know what the future will bring. So I'm on the fence. I'm not deciding. I'm just going to sit it out until I get some sign, like a sign, you know. The Four of Pentacles. You could be dealing with someone who's a little bit controlling. Is that you? Afraid to let go of your security? Maybe you're thinking of starting a business. Because the Nine of Pentacles. You really want more independence. You want more freedom in a relationship, and you want more freedom in your career. But you're afraid to let go of your security. You're wanting to hold on to the money. You're wanting to hold on to a person from the past. Either you're dealing with someone who's a little controlling, who doesn't know how to give, or you're afraid to let go. You have the Eight of Pentacles coming up with the Three of Pentacles. So you've been working on something. You might be learning new skills or taking a new path with your career. And you're going to receive recognition. The Three of Pentacles is promotion, recognition, success. And that may encourage you to go even further. Doors are going to be opening up with the Eight of Wands. You know, opportunity, both in career and love in June. This is your environment, the Judgment. This is a card of rebirth, of waking up to who you are, waking up to what you can do, and making changes as a result of that awakening. So your needs are changing. And you realize that in order to change anything, you're going to have to take action. You don't want to wait for things to happen. You want to make things happen. But you may have to wait a little bit because the Hangman's here. So you have this goal, you have this dream. But with the Hangman, that's a card of feeling like you're in limbo. Like nothing's moving. Things will move probably after the summer. Because we have Mars going retrograde, we have Mercury going retrograde. Mars will be retrograde all summer. Then Mercury goes retrograde from August to September. So now's the time to just kind of do the work. Eight of Pentacles, you know, plan, get your ducks in a row, You know, it's a time of preparation. It's a time when everything's kind of slowing down. You can't push. But the reward will come later. So there's opportunity to work toward a goal. There's opportunity for love. There's opportunity for career success. But you won't be actually taking action, you know, whereas like where you're not going to really leave anything or change anything till the end of the summer, to the beginning of fall. The Hangman is a card. To get what you want, you're going to have to give something up. You have to give something up for something better. So whether that's a job or a relationship or both, it could even be both. But it feels like a sacrifice because a part of you doesn't want to give up the current situation. But you know that you're moving on to something better. You know it. And you will. Because when the Judgment card comes up, it usually represents leaving a relationship or leaving a job because your needs have changed and you want to grow. If the current situation is too stagnant and it's not growing and there's no opportunity for growth, you have to leave it. You have to move on. And you're going to get that confidence over the summer because you're going to get recognition for the work that you're doing and you're going to feel like, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I do have the talent. Maybe I do have the skill. The final outcome is the Chariot. That's a card of victory through discipline and focus. So you might be scattering your energy. You know, you got your stuff. You're just doing too many things, and you're letting too many things distract you from the goal. So you have to focus. What is really important? What do I really want to achieve? If it's a new career, then, or is it a new relationship? You have to focus. Pick one, and focus on that. And let all the other distractions fall by the wayside because otherwise you're never going to get anywhere. It's like, you know, when you're trying to run a race and you're trying to run in two different directions, you go nowhere. You're just going around in circles. So you have to let go of the unessential, the non-essential. You know, if somebody's calling, like, don't waste your time on Facebook. Don't spend hours in the rabbit hole of, you know, video games. You have a goal. Get to work, do it, get where you need to go. Don't let yourself be distracted like you're trying to do this and then your friend's like, oh, hey, you want to try that? Okay, and you drop this and you go to that. And no, you'll never get anywhere. You have to focus on one thing. Focus on the important thing. The Chariot is about, you know, travel. And it's your vehicle. But it's also about controlling your mind. These two, all right, these are sphinxes. They represent conflicting thoughts. You know, one part of you wants to go this way, one part of you wants to go that way. You have to get control of the mind, and you have to focus your thoughts in the direction that you want to go in. It's more about mental control than physical control. You know, focus your thoughts. It's like when you're trying to meditate. Focus on the breath. You know, the monkey mind is trying to distract you by, you know, what you ate for breakfast, what you have to do tomorrow, who you have to meet later. You have to put that all out of the mind. You know, focus on the breath. I'm going to not listen to the monkey mind. I'm going to focus on my breath. I'm going to focus. And that's how you find peace and equilibrium. And that's where you get that's what allows you, when you calm your mind, because the mind wants to take you in a million directions. When you control your mind and focus, that's when you hear the true guidance of your inner soul, of your divine connection. You know, your divine guidance comes through meditation. I always tell people that prayer is speaking to God. Meditation is listening for the answer. And you have to quiet your mind to do that. But the guidance that you get will be valuable. And will take you where you need to go. So let's see what the astrology has to say. For you, you have a new moon in the 6th house. So that means now's your time, number one, to take better care of your health. Maybe you want to get on a new exercise or diet plan. Start nurturing yourself. You have the perfect time to do it. But it can also mean a new beginning in your work environment. Gemini, that could involve communication, the internet, technology, you know, or just doing a lot of different, doing something that involves multitasking. Sometimes with Gemini, you do have a choice between two paths, but you're going to have to focus. You're going to have to stop being distracted by all the possibilities and focus on the one goal. You have Mars in your second house, so your expenses may be rising, and you're going to be thinking, what can I do to bring in more money? Because I have all these bills I have to pay. And Mars retrograding across your second house is going to really, you're going to have to fight for what you deserve. Now, when Mars goes retrograde, you don't want to initiate arguments, but you want to think about, how am I best using my energy? How am I best, what's the proper action to take? Because when Mars is retrograde, you don't want to initiate anything, but you do want to revise your approach. So you don't want to burst out in anger. You don't want to repress anger. So you want to take that energy and work. It's more of a subtle thing, working behind the scenes, not being overt, not being too aggressive. With Mars in Aquarius going through your second house, technology might be something you want to think about. Maybe that can bring in more money. You have Uranus in your fifth house, moving into Taurus. So the fifth house is the house of creative self-expression. Uranus there, you might have some really creative ideas and innovative ideas. So you might want to do something that involves technology, maybe some type of creative work, like web design or art that, I don't know, that's unique and individual. And then you have Mercury opposing Saturn. Mercury is in the seventh house, and Saturn's in your first house in Capricorn. So there could be some relationship challenges where you need to communicate. Maybe there's a partner who's not wanting to, I don't know, Mercury has to do with contracts and communication. So you may have to work out some things in a relationship, maybe come to some type of understanding, maybe communicate your needs during this new moon period. You may have some issues to work out. The full moon is in Capricorn, which is in your sign. And that's falling in your first house. So you have been, if you've been working on yourself, the first house can bring things to completion. So you're finishing up the work that you're doing. The full moon is also conjunct Saturn. So this may not be a fun time because you may feel that you've been all work and no play. But you have a goal. And you're trying to achieve this goal. Now Uranus, at the full moon, Uranus will be supporting the full moon. So maybe you're completing, at the end of the month, you might be completing a creative project that involves communication, the internet, maybe technology, and it could get you some recognition. You also have, let's see, Jupiter's in Scorpio. That's going through your ninth house. So you're learning, you're exploring new things. You might be taking some classes, teaching or learning. But it's all on the path of achieving a dream. Let's see, what else? Saturn and Capricorn's trine Uranus. Mars is going retrograde. So Mars is retrograding in your second house. And it's going back into your first house. So if you're trying to initiate something, I wouldn't start a business during the Mars retrograde, but I would do a lot of preparation. So if you're thinking about launching something, I would wait till the end of the summer, the beginning of fall. when Mars goes direct. That's the best time to launch. So just work on your project all summer. You may finish one project by the end of the month, but then you might be working on tweaking things over the summer. That's the perfect thing to do with the Mars energy. And rethink how you express anger. Mars has to do with anger. So you don't want to overreact. People might be pushing your buttons if you're having these relationships. Somebody may, communication might be tense. Let's put it that way. Or communication may seem cold and uncaring. Like you may feel like authority figures are being too critical. Don't respond in anger. Just don't initiate. Because when Mars is retrograde, anything that you initiate during a retrograde period loses energy and steam. So if someone attacks you during a Mars retrograde period, they're not going to win. Their attempt is going to fall flat. If you start or launch something during a Mars retrograde, you won't have the energy to complete it. Or it just won't go anywhere. It'll just fizzle out. So just lay low and focus on your goal. Do all the prep work. Try not to overreact. Keep calm. And by the end of the period, when Mars goes direct, in September and probably like October, November, that's the time you want to push forward. And then you're going to experience the success of the Three of Pentacles and the Chariot. So you could also be dealing with Mars retrograde, someone that has Aries energy, someone who's very aggressive, very outspoken. So just let them rant and rave. Don't react. Don't get drawn into a drama. And you'll be fine. So that's my forecast for June. I hope this was a help to you. If you'd like to have a private reading, contact me in the description below, and we will get you on the schedule. In the meantime, enjoy your June. Much success to you, much love, and I will talk to you next month. Okay, bye now.